Thank you everyone for joining us. We will be with you in few minutes. Okay, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Rosanna Mozame, and I am the Events Director at PMI UAE chapter. We have been on a roll from the beginning of this year, starting with our annual gathering and a few webinars. I'd also like to let you know that our next upcoming face-to-face event will happen on March 19th in Abu Dhabi at the Abu Dhabi National Archives. We will be sending out emails and our WhatsApp group for you to remember about our upcoming event. Once again, thank you so much for joining us. We're almost at 96 participants, 97, and we are growing. We have Anshal, who will be joining us in 1 minute, who is our moderator for today. And of course, we have Dr. Ghanim Kashwani, who's our speaker for today, who will be taking us through the today's topic. and which is the circular economy role in enhancing sustainability in the construction projects in the UAE. Once again, thank you for joining us, and we will be starting shortly once Anshal arrives. I also have Bhavin and Olumide in the back end who are taking care of all your questions, all your anything in the back end they will be handling. So thank you, Bhavin and Olumide, for your amazing work. We're almost at 100. That's amazing. Give us a few seconds and we will be with you. Thank you once again. Shahzad Afzal, yes, finally we're going to Abu Dhabi. This year we're going to have at least 3 events in Abu Dhabi. So we shall engage more with our Abu Dhabi chapter. We're going to engage with our Northern Emirates chapter as well. So we're looking forward to seeing you in Abu Dhabi. Please register to the event. It's already on our website. If you guys visit pmiuae.org, in our events section, you can register to the event. Muhammad Jihad, yes, we do record our events and our, sorry, you want the webinar or the event? Usually webinars are all recorded. Events, we give chance for people to attend our events in person. Hi, Ibtihal. Yes, Mutu, we're going to have it in Abu Dhabi, March 19th. Please register. Thankfully, the Abu Dhabi National Archives auditorium fits around 700 people, so we won't have any space issues, and we would love to see everyone attending our next face-to-face event. All right, we are at 111 participants. This is amazing. We apologize for the late notice. We're just waiting for Anshal, our moderator. He's been stuck in a bit traffic. Oh, you're here.
I'm there. Hi, Rosanna. Good evening.
Amazing. Thank you so much for making it. So happy to have you here now. I've
Good
already
for
done
being
my
late.
introduction. Anshal, you can go ahead and begin. We're already at 7:08, so let's give a chance for Dr. Ghanim. So I'll be here with you and enjoy the webinar. Thank you, Dr. Ghanim, once again, and we're going to start.
Go ahead, Doctor.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Good evening. First of all, I want to thank PMI for hosting me. Thanks all the audience to spare the time and to attend the lecture. So hopefully today we can add an information that help you as a project managers. So if you allow me, I'll share my screen to the slides. And I hope the slides are clear.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Let me. Okay.
You can do it slideshow. Yeah, it's there.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So the topic today is about circular economy. So again, my name is Dr.Ghanim Kashwani. I'm an academic. My background is civil engineering. And, as you know, in the Gulf area, construction sector is very important. Believe it or not, after the hydrocarbon sector, the construction sector is the most vital sector and it generates the most income, especially in UAE. And due to that, there is a boom in construction sector. I mean, if construction sector, if we usually describe it as very fixed and fragmented, but due to new technology now we have a booming, and due to that, the business model of the construction sector has been changed. So today, what we're trying to do to understand the importance of circular economy, first of all, we need to know the definition and the history of circular economy, and how we can use it in our construction. And today we'll talk about the life cycle itself. I mean, usually the word circular economy is still about the shape, the life cycle. So it is from using the product all the way to disposal. And it is against the regular economy, or we call it the linear economy. So today we'll see what's the vital point, how we can capitalize it as project manager, and where is the area that if we master it, then we can enhance it. But let's put a couple of words that we highlighted. And I think the most important word in circular economy, especially in construction, is communication, in my humble opinion, and we'll show it in the coming slide. So does mean circular economy, if we have it, it will lead to sustainability? I mean, there is a relation, or by default, everything is circular, it means sustainable. And actually, 2 days ago in World Government Summit, they have a whole session about it. And how we can put innovation technology in that. I mean, is the circular economy is the right venue to utilize our innovation there? And definitely the resource security and how we can achieve the system development goals. So today in my slides, I'll use a lot of figures because it is more about the concept. Circular economy, there it is like a smart city. We cannot say we have a very one defined definition for it. However, there is one concept. The concept that we take the material and we keep reusing the material. So we don't have waste. And I'm not a big favor of the word waste because it is human made. It is byproduct. So if you go to the nature, there is no such called waste. I mean, everything is byproduct. However, because of our nature, the consumption is very high, and that we need to consume all the time. And you can see that the media, they play a really good role in that. That every time you feel that you need to consume, and this is the idea of becoming the waste. However, for example, in UAE, we have construction waste and food waste is one of the more challenging things. And it costs a lot of money here. It costs not millions, we talk about billions, just to reduce the construction waste and the food waste. And this is if we follow the linear economy. But then we said, okay, let's see innovation, and we think out of the box. And by the way, circular economy, it is not a new concept. I mean, it was in the literature maybe from the 80s. And then we had something called donut economy. It is the same concept. But now, why the circular economy word have become a buzzword now? Because it makes a commercial sense. This is the whole different. I mean, if we say about the 3D printing, everybody talk about 3D printing. Although 3D printing, same as the circular economy, it was in the 80s. But now it make a commercial sense. Now, so the construction and the contractor, then they say, okay, we can use it. And believe it or not, in the construction industry, although many of them there have sustainability as a core value, in the end, it is very important for them to make a profit. It is a profit business. And I highly advise guys to read an article called How to Talk Sustainability to Your CFO. And this is exactly how we can speak their language. The circular economy today, we take it as a business model. And from that business model, we can talk to all our senior management. We talk to the finance, to the recruitment, all different sectors in your organization. And this is why it is circular, because it covers different areas. So let's go back to the history. We have the linear economy. Raw materials, mark this. Raw materials is the key players, the key thing in the circular economy. Everything in the economy, it is all in the raw material, especially in the construction. So what the famous material that we use, guys, here in the construction? Concrete, steel. Each one of them contribute around 8% of the CO2 emission. So this is the most important thing. And most of the civil engineers now, they are trying to create alternative material, alternative cement, alternative steel. But still, like Portland cement is the king, because it is affordable and you can use it abundant. The human mankind, by itself, they are building a New York City every month. So even during pandemic. So this is show you the amount of using these construction material. And concrete is the second used material after water. And we have steel. So there's a lot of energy there. So focusing on the raw material is very important, but the change here will be gradually. I cannot say, you know what, I'm banning Portland cement. It cannot be like that. Yes, you can enhance the green cement, you can reduce the clinker, and also you can do carbon capture. But in the same time, we really should focus on the raw material. So in circular economy, we choose the material, okay, that can be efficient in their circular in the life cycle. So in the linear economy, we have raw material production used in non-reusable waste. We do landfill, and I mean we will have a damage on environmental level and economic level, and we don't want that. Then we hit the word reuse economy. And the word recycling, sometimes people think it is the best option. I don't think it is the best option. Recycling, yeah, it's good, but it is the least option that I want to take it. Some people, I mean, in the media even, they said recycling, do recycling. No, there is something better than recycling, is the reusing, okay? So we don't want, because recycling itself, and up recycling, down recycling, it consumes a lot of energy. But what about if I can reuse it? So this is the idea of circular economy. Recycling is good, but you can do better than this. So this is another example. So in the circular economy, you can see on the right, it's all to lead in one word, use. There is no waste. Return, reuse, repair, and use. And to reach this level, especially in circular economy, as a project manager, guys, I highly advise you to work in the communication. It is all, especially in the construction industry. You have vendors, contractors, and I believe even from the project charter, when you put it that, and if you do it in circular economy, mention about the communication tools and the communication channels. If you do circular economy, it starts from an initiating phase in the project charter. It's very important. So let's go. This slide summarizes the whole things about circular economy in the built environment and the construction. So as I said, circular economy, it is not starting only in the construction. It is from initiating from the design. So, for example, now many people we do modular construction or 3D printing offsite construction. So we need to focus on these things, that our design, our material, it is all about recycling and circular economy. So we always say we design for the durability, for the assembly, and for ductility, the 3D we call it. So the material should be ductile, that brittle, so that it have more and it will be more durable, and be assembled. Now we don't have the material that it is fixed, so that we need to demolish them. No, now there is many methods that we disassemble the material, the whole building, and we can put it in another area. It's happening right now. Then on the construction side, it is very important to not to have a byproduct, in the construction side. So now people now going towards offset models. They are saving labor force, they are saving time, and most of it, it is more sustainable. And as I said, construction still has an old mentality. They associate sustainability with cost. And this is why we didn't have like a massive success. Some construction, they look sustainable, but they are not sustainable. There is two different between looking sustainable and being sustainable. Yeah, it is easy to put nice logo about sustainability, and we do like offset carbon footprinting, but this is not real impact that we wanted. To do that in the construction, people like to talk in economy. And this is why the circular economy is the right language. It is the right path to talk to the contractors and the designer, because they talk about saving, about profits. And in the operation, one of the information that I want to share with you, that construction industry, most of the profit are from the maintenance, not from the construction. And people are shocked when I'm telling my students that, they are shocked about it. So this is why if I design my material to be a circular economy, even in the maintenance, it will be much affordable. And here we can use a lot of technology, and like now we are using BIM, is great model, digital twin. All these technology, definitely it will add a lot of value. Then we have in the renovation, retrofitting, and demolition. Now, all these things also can be using recycle. Now, recycle aggregate become one of the important topic. Now, we can mix our buildings like sometimes to 60% of recycle aggregate. For small villa, we can go sometimes to 80 recycle aggregate. But we need to do it in the right way. Let me share you a story. So in Abu Dhabi, they have a recycle aggregate plant. It succeeds, but not that we can do more because the recycle aggregate plant, it was far away. So there is transportation. And the real challenge in carbon footprint is the embedded carbon, which come from operation and transportation. So this is why it is important, as I said in the beginning in the design. Okay, if we use recycle aggregate, we should make sure that everything is calculated, the site, the unit, so that we calculate the whole embedded carbon. And we'll go later about the life costing, life cycle assessment. All these methods is very important. And then we have demolition. And demolition, if I may recommend, if you go to YouTube, there's something called the Japanese way. And I like it. They just deassemble the buildings. It takes time. It's less efficient. But they have this idea that I can use the material. However, now there is new technology that, as I said in the beginning, if you do deassemble, I would do hybrid buildings that contain like some of the beams and columns, some wood, then you can do that. So now we give an example, a flavor about how we can apply circular economy, but there is different concepts I will explain in the coming slides. Okay, there is many buzzwords here. We hear climate neutrally, zero net, circularity, sustainability. All these things are the same or different. Okay, so let's make different things here. Circular economy or circularity is a business model. Okay, so circular economy, if I didn't do it in the right way, it will not be sustainable. So not everything, if I label it under circular economy, it will be sustainable. Very important to understand that. Okay, if you have a circular economy, but you have a lot of consumption, then this is the movement of the circular economy is very high, then it is not sustainable. Circular economy, if we want to summarize it in one sentence, circular economy is a very good tool for sustainability in construction if it's used in the right manners and the right procedures. Yes, it will be very effective, especially it's suitable for our coming technology right now and suitable to our nature around the world, and especially for the Gulf area. Climate, now net zero, definitely the construction industry, we cannot reach to the net zero, but however, we can do offset carbon. We can use some material that to reduce to the net zero. Yes, and it is in the way. But as I said, it will be gradually. It will be, it will be just a nice slogan that net zero, but we need to do it gradually with a business model. And when it become the new norm in the market, then yes, maybe one day we can reach, as we have a plan 2015 UK, 2030, and we can do that in the future. Climate neutrally, it is that we use the material that it have low footprint. And as I said, now people, they start using wood, even here. Although it is, we are not familiar, but yeah, we can use it. It shows a very good competitive strength. I think in Canada, they start having also quote unquote high-rise building by wood. My suggestion here is to use hybrid material. As I said, we can try wood here. It can sustain the humidity if we put some chemicals. And other important thing is construction safety. Yes, safety is a big part of sustainability. And circular economy, one of the reasons that they can improve safety. Why? Simply because it's improved communication. We have many fatalities in construction industry. The last thing I want to compromise in terms of sustainability or circular economy is the safety. So for me, literally, safety is the priority here, even on any business model. Okay, so as I said, you hear a lot of new economy, green economy, bioeconomy, all these fancy names. But as I said, it has somehow a common goal. So when you say green economy, as I said, we use things that doesn't produce any emission. Best example is clean tech. So we have the wind turbine, solar system, But how we can use in circular economy, this is, again, the business model. Okay, the business model that, for example, I use a clean tech that after that the product, it will be recyclable. The panel can be recyclable, and this is the idea. Bioeconomy, it can go back to earth. It can be degradation, and it go back to the soil and use it as this example. The plastic bag that we can dissolve in the water. So these fancy names is almost same concept. As I said, once you hear circular economy, the second thought or the word, it will be communication and business model. So let's see about sustainable construction. The word resilience. I believe for all the next, for the project managers here, believe me, I think resilience is the next sustainability. I think, and it shows what happened in the pandemic. Your project should be resilience. What I mean by the resilience, that there is business continuity in it. So you have plan B, plan C. So, and this is, I think that we need to focus now on the word resilience. What if in the project management, we do risk management, we do risk, we put all the risk, comprehensive risk, but also it will be nice if we put quote unquote resilience plan. That consider factors that, for example, nowadays people, they consider pandemics, but before nobody was focusing on that, but it happens. So to avoid that, and this is one of the main pillars of circular economy, that we should be resilient. So if it is not resilient, there is no circular, because the movement will stop. And as I said, there will be the safety element is very important. For me, safety is the most important element in circular economy. And definitely, we will talk about the environmental impact, we'll talk about the economic impact, the social impact. The stakeholders are very important to be involved here also. So I'll give you an example about quick win. So we have something called Environmental Protection Declaration. So EPD. EPD is something that it is a label that nowadays the people put it in the construction material. It tells you exactly how much energy have been consumed to produce this material, how much energy it will take to recycle it or to put it again in the industry. And now we have new ISO that they emphasize that the projects that they use EPD, or the organization, they can apply for different ISO. So EPD, I think it is one of the easiest way you can, if you ask me, Ghanim, I want to have circular economy in my organization, from where I can start, I can advise you easily that this start from environmental protection declaration. It is easy one, and you can do it. And I believe now many people now thinking about startups. Like I know many of the students now, they don't want to have 9-5, and they are going to start up and to be entrepreneurship. My advice when you do the pitching, show that use the circular business model. And I can say now many of the people, they use the sustainable business model. It is good, but you can add the circular economy. It is very important to see how it will contribute. So they know that you are updating to the business challenge. You know that it shows you how you use the resource allocated. Because I believe in project management, the most important two element is how to manage your resource with the certain time. One of the best definition I like about project, what is a project? It is a temporary effort with certain resources, with certain time to deliver certain goals. And we can do that with a circular business model. So this is my advice for people who are doing the startups, and they will be project manager for their startup, to consider the circular business model. Well, as I said, the idea of circular economy, it comes all from the nature. There is an area called biomimicry. So biomimicry in Arabic, التقليد الأحيائي, it means that we learn from the nature. And as you can see from the nature, there is no waste, as we said in the beginning. So we have biodegradation, we use it and come back. So this is the whole idea of the recycling and circular economy. So if somebody says from where circular economy comes the idea, the answer is the nature. Okay, now I need tool. Okay, Ghanem, we told about circular economy, you give example, but what my tool, how I use it? Please use this model, it summarizes everything. Okay, the circular economy, it is, some people, they said it is more than tool, it is a value. And I hope one day it become a value, like sustainability, it is not only a KPI, but I think we still early to become a value. We mentioned about EPD, Environmental Protection Declaration, life cycle assessment. I mean, most of you are aware about it, but it's very important to do it in the initiating about the project, about the material. And we have also the material health. Material health, that how many times I can use it, to what extent, the efficiency. And also we need to consider that also with the costing. I mean, still we talk about economic life cycle costing. And there is no, when we talk about the EBD, there is something now in the material, material circularity indicator. And this is very important, as I said in the beginning, because it's all starts from the raw material. And we have the concept gradle to gradle or gradle to gate. It's all about the your project, but I prefer to go cradle to cradle all the time. So these tools, as I said, you can develop your own tools. It is not one way. This is the most famous one. And recently, by the way, if somebody want to go to academia, we didn't have many academic degree, but recently, now in University of Edinburgh, they have a master's degree or it's a postgraduate certificate all the way to master's degree in circular economy, and it is only online. I highly recommend for people who want to go to circular economy with one of the top universities in the world, University of Edinburgh, and they offer it in very affordable price. So I think this is a very good opportunity, guys, if you want to go and apply there. It's a new program, one of the few programs in the world focused on circular economy. Okay, we have a challenge, we have a benefit. Definitely there is challenge here and we have a benefit. As I said, benefit that we are reducing the environmental, we are reducing the safety accidents, we're creating a job, definitely there is a job creation here. And we are innovative here, we're emerging the market together, and economic growth definitely will be a result. The challenge is still the topic is a complex. Circular economy, as I said, as good as it sounds, it can be your enemy if you have bad communication. Yeah, because the impact, it will be like snowball impact. So make sure that before going to the circular economy, you are very well good in communication and you use the updated models like BIM in the communication. And as I said, there is no qualification now. We don't have certified circular economy project manager. Maybe in a PMI, they can create this. We don't have certified circular economy engineer still. I'm aware about some academic program. As I said, at the very university through online, I highly advise, if you want to go to your PhD or even a master program, they have a master program. Okay, in UAE 2017, I was very glad to be one of the quote unquote founders of this council. And currently I'm with the policy committee with His Excellency, the Perfect Minister, Dr. Abdullah Bilhayf, His Excellency. We created this council in 2017, and we have officially Circular Economic Council in UAE. And there is a website here, and still we are pushing, and between time to time we have our meetings, and hopefully soon we have federal law and local law between the Emirates. And I believe that, as I said, technology will be the key in circular economy because it has a communication and providing sustainable finance. So I don't know if you heard about the green bonds like Gulf Bank before. If you have any project and it has some sustainability element, they will give you more funding. And the same thing now, if you go to any project, they said, you know what, I'm applying circular economy to ministry or government circuit, you'll have extra point, extra funding, and competitive edge. So this will help you also in tendering. And still, as I said, we need to more partnership. I believe public-private partnership will help circular economy to be a best model and practical. So we need definitely the private sector in construction. We need the government regulation. We need this public partnership collaboration, definitely. And definitely when we do the development of implementing circular economy, definitely will have a lot of savings, especially in the waste management. We have many of the company like Tadweer, Bia. It will give them great help. There's a lot of pioneer project like waste to energy, and applying circular economy and vital sector like construction. Definitely, it will help. And as I said, it is a collective effort. It is not one-man show. Thank you. I think, maybe we finish early, but we'll have more time for Q&A. I hope, I add some new information for all of you. And again, thanks for attending and spare time for me. Shukran.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ghanim there. It was lovely hearing you out and getting a lot of information, which is quite relevant in today's modern terms, actually. And then we have got some kind of questions also with us, which we'll try definitely to answer them up because we have sufficient time. I will just begin with few questions with you. Give me a minute. And then let's try to see that how we can best inform these attendees with their more knowledge levels there. So first question comes, Doctor, here from Mr. Muthu there, that in the economic scenarios like what you've explained now, really is this raw materials are being 100% utilized? Please, can you cite some examples in this scenario that how these raw materials are really utilized in this circular way?
Okay, so I will give you an example that I personally work on it. So as we said in the beginning, we have food waste and construction waste. And UAE, we have a lot of food waste like a palm. And palm tree, they have cellulose fibers. Cellulose fiber can play a major role to replace synthetic fiber like carbon fiber. So simply mixing some palm tree and the cellulose fibers with the concrete, and we mixing them and we put in the construction, we are saving huge environmental issue. We are saving a lot of money. So yes, raw material, if we start in the beginning, but as I said, still there is lack of standards how to use it. Because, for example, if I work on Dubai project and they said, okay, they will give you like 10% to do that, but you can't do the whole project. And this is gradually, once they see it is effective, then they will allow to use these things that we have 100% complete, recycle raw material. But as I said, yes, I emphasize that raw material is the key, especially in construction.
Okay. Next question is basically that connected to similar things, that will there be any difference in the cost in the terms of percentage savings, for example, when we do any kind of construction project as a normal project? Was this a circular economy project? Do you have any guesstimates around what kind of cost differences really comes around this?
Yeah, so according to again, there is no one fixed answer, but it can reach to maybe to 50%. As I said, if you did it right, it can reach to the 50%. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Good. So that was quite a significant number, I would say. Even 50% cost savings or the difference really is substantial over the period of time.
Talk about labor force. You talk about materials, scheduling. I mean, as I said, but the most important thing about circular economy is in the initiating and design. You read to design your business models, and we have successful story, and we do also have non-success story. As I said, circular economy is a tool. If you use it right, it will work as a method.
It will work.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay. Next question, what we have from the audience is that somebody mentioned interesting. So going for the Japanese way of disassembling, as you have mentioned in your talk here, it's not very efficient and really it takes a long time to get implemented. But does this time offset by this kind of thing can be utilized in using sourcing and re-engineering the material again and reusing it?
Yeah, exactly. As I said, construction, it contains high rhythm, high tempo. So it takes a lot of time, definitely. And as I said, sometimes we cannot do that. But saving this material in certain project, in certain area, then yeah, we can do that. We have a time. Some buildings in rural area, they have the time to do that. And it will be doing this Japanese way, it will save more money and comparing with regular demolition, because on demolition, then you need to take the waste. You have the particle matters. Then the stakeholders, the neighborhood, they will get affected. They will go to the hospital. There is unseen cost that it will come later. But I'm not saying that, yeah, let's do it, because it is not efficient. But we can do we cannot do the Japanese demolition way 100%. We can design the main beams, the main columns, in that way. Okay, so as I said, I usually say I'm not a big fan of sudden change. I usually believe in gradual change. I usually say dream big, start small in everything, but at least we start with something.
Okay, at least start with somewhere, yeah, because we don't start and we not realize it. And until we realize it, we will not experience it. And until we experience it, we cannot prove his hypothesis is correct or wrong, right? So that was interesting. So Mr. Mahmood has asked another questions around decarbonization. So can you explain what is decarbonization as a context to here, and then how is it using the green hydrogen in construction industry is going to contribute to sustainability for us?
I really like this question, because not many people talk about the hydrogen, brown hydrogen. Okay, the word, so we have CO2 sequestration or decarbonization. In material science, the word decarbonization, before it was like a negative word, but now it's become a more green word, that we try to utilize the CO2. We have different way, either using a new material from the source. We can do decarbonization by carbon capture. We can inject the CO2, CO2 sequestration. Before, when you go to the oil, to the hydrocarbon, they capture CO2 and they inject it in the ground. But due to the environmental issue that they don't want to contaminate the water, they said we need to do new material. Google a company called Carbon Cure. Carbon Cure is a Canadian company. They inject CO2 in their concrete. And I remember Bill Gates has a video that he promoting for them. It's a Canadian company. And they are doing what? They take the CO2, they inject it, and it become more, it have the compressive strength, same durability, and you are reducing the CO2 from the atmosphere. Okay, so you are solving the CO2 emission. And it's in terms of costing, you don't change the whole plant. You only put the box. Now you mentioned about hydrogen. Hydrogen, there is something in a cement plant we call hydrogen cells. So the CO2 in construction industry comes from two things: the clinker. During the clinker, we have a lot of CO2. Also, the fuel that we use it to burn the clinker. Okay, so if we change this fuel and we put hydrogen cells, then yes, we are solving a lot. When it comes for hydrogen, this is very possible for the new plant. But now we have old plant cement. I cannot do major changing for the plant, but I can do something like I put the carbon cure box. I can create small units with hydrogen cells. So as I said, but if I want to build a new cement plant, then yes, I can consider hydrogen cells. So hydrogen cells is one of the best example in raw material of using green hydrogen energy.
Good. So we have a lot of questions coming in, Dr. Warrior. So far, I have gotten about more than 10, so I'll try to cover them.
I'm enjoying that.
Yeah, okay. So here's a question from Zeba, is that how do the units get installed with plumbing and electricity? Example, the cabins which Qatar donated to Turkey earthquake survivors, as an example, what she cited. How does that really work in terms of installation and plumbing?
I don't know if I get the question right. So when the Qatar, they send the aid for Turkey, I mean, they consider the footprint of this material, or?
The question is that how the units get installed with plumbing and electricity when you try to ship them out as a kind of, as a donation, for example, here. So how these donated units get installed with all this nuts and bolts of plumbing and electricity? How does it really work? Might be that is the real question, Karan.
Yeah, I mean, technically wise, how we put it in the ship, or it is about the circular economy? I don't know how it's.
No, it's about circular economy. In the circular economy, will it make a difference?
How we apply it as a circular economy?
Yeah. Yes.
as I said, okay, let's consider our project is to send aid to Turkey, for example. Okay, from Qatar to Turkey, we want to send an aid. This is our project. We want to apply it as a circular economy. Okay, so as I said, once we send the aids, for example, okay, the material we send it that should be disposal. We put things in carton and package these things because they have already their own challenge. So when we dispose this material, we make sure that this material that we'll get it back, we can use it to another country. So this is like small example, but we can use the container itself. It could be recycled more than one time. I don't know if this question was answered.
A bit a tricky question, yeah, there. No problem. So let's go ahead and try to answer some more there. Mr. Hafiz has asked that what skills basically that project managers should seek or acquire or possess in order to contribute to this model of economy of what we are trying to see, the sustainable economy or circular economy, how we as a project managers need to do something around it. What kind of skills?
As I said, communication. As I said, it comes from your communication, especially in construction. You need how to communicate, and if I may advise, the new technology of communication. Many people, they think BIM is a software. No, BIM is a communication tool. Okay, so be familiar with these communication tools that they are using, and I think BIM now they are in dimension 10, and you should be fine. And make sure that everybody involved with you from the beginning, from the initiative.
I think inclusion is the key over there in that way. Inclusion and communication.
Yeah.
Good. So okay, interestingly, so questions are coming from all different segments of project management because we all are project managers. So another question that can we have an insights on how we can embed tools and techniques of this, what you have showcased us in the circular economy, in other projects where we are handling not only a SIM1 project, could be a portfolio of different programs or even the of different projects. So when it go to scaling, how these tools and techniques can be adopted, I think that would make sense.
Yeah, so as we mentioned, let's use the two examples, life costing and life cycle assessment. So you have an Excel sheet, okay, that contain different phases for the life cycle, and you put the information and make sure that they are connected. So design your Excel sheet, your schedule with respect to the life cycle of the project and the life costing.
I hope that would have given some kind of fruitful insight or nuggets to Mr. Ahmed over there. Okay, good. So we have other questions is around Mohammed. So Mohammed is asking us, not sure whether I picked it up correctly, how biomimicry would contribute to circular economy. Could you give an example around that?
How what? The first one?
What I read is a biomimicry. Is that something what you use in the construction, something like that? Or is it something missing there?
I mean, but anything bio, why it is circular economy? Because it will degrade, it will go back to earth, it will be dissolved. But I don't know if he's missing anything bio in terms of.
I'm not sure, Ahmad, might be you can post that.
Biomimicry, okay, I saw it, biomimicry, okay. Biomimicry, yeah, okay, biomimicry, I mean, it is one of the first lessons you take it in architecture. Biomimicry, as I said, it is the best example of circular economy, everything is used. For example, now, if you see the life cycle for any animal, even when they are dead, they will be dissolved and will become fertilized. So there is no waste. Everything is utilized 100%. And this is what I'm saying, the idea of circular economy, that we don't have waste. If you remember the slide, everything should be used. So this is the biomimicry. I mean, the human get the idea, yes, from the nature, because the word waste is not exist in the animal dictionary. It is exist in the human mankind. And this is the biomimicry. I mean, many people refer that circular economy comes from the biomimicry.
Okay, might be just a new term for me because I don't come from the construction background, so I did not pick it up correctly in pronouncing, could be, but thanks for picking up, doctor, there. Appreciate it. So Mr. Adil is asking that, okay, how we can touch base with the whole life cycle of carbon analysis. Can you please touch on the whole life cycle of carbon analysis, and do you think that this will be a next major metric to measure the sustainability levels in our environment?
Yeah, as I said, remember always I said in the slide, Ghanem, where should I start with environmental protection declaration. This is the first step that all the material that you use in construction, it has the environmental protection declaration. It tells you how much energy that have been used in construction and the potential of using in the recycle. So it is not only the information that have been used in manufacturing and the information that it can be used in the potential. So this is the first step that I said, okay, guys, we want to have a circular economy business model. Is then how we can start it. Let's do environmental protection declaration. Then we see in the closing the loop who will be like we have B2B or B2C. The next one that we can give it the material, it will be us or it will be somebody else. For example, if we use this aggregate, then for example, I'm working in tall buildings design, and I have some recycle aggregate. Okay, this recycle aggregate, it can design a small villa and can take the compressive strength. So I know exactly where I will use this recycle aggregate for my next project for villa constructions.
What we have is question number 10 over there. I think that's good. So we have Jihad is asking us that, do we have any approved or existing guidelines? Okay, so here we come to the compliance line. So do we have any approved guidelines for transitioning to a circular economy that can be adopted by construction companies?
So until now, do we have an official document or guidance by UAE federal government? The answer, it is ongoing, but there is major line. So if you write the circular economy in UAE, you will find the official page for it. But still, because it is, as I said, we are working the document. So we have the policy committee, we have the execution policy. We are working on the first guidelines. I mean, last year we have the first guidelines for automation construction with the Ministry of Infrastructure, and I was privileged to contribute in it. So now we try to have a guideline for circular economy. So we finished from the automation, now we are working. Hopefully we try to publish it by the end of this year.
So at the moment, it means they are not yet approved or endorsed by the authorities. Should I consider it that way?
Yeah, so if, for example, if you said I have a circular economy, my project have circular business model, you can say I have a circular business model that will enhance the sustainability. So because there is no certain KPI, they said, yes, for circularity, you get this point. No, for sustainability. But what you can say that I'm using this circular business model, which eventually will enhance the sustainability. Then yes, you are playing it in the right way.
It's an evolving area as well for all of us. So definitely it will go to a long way over there to really come to that mark. We have one more question is that similarly that I think we already answered it in terms of regulation and laws. So I will not repeat one. I think, let me see if anything else is I missed it by any chance. Okay, so now coming to the aspirants over there. So how would you like to guide us from academia perspective, from professional perspective? Some gentleman, Mr. Adil, is telling that normally the sustainability project managers are not being considered as a mainstream people, as a main backbone, but looked as a supporting role. So to come to that level of transition, to progress the career, what kind of guidance can you give it to them?
Yeah, as I said, he's totally right, because construction, they think about money. And this is what I was saying in the beginning. There is an article, it is an eye-opening article, how to talk sustainability to your chief financial officer. If you are working as sustainable project manager, and you start talking their language, guys, okay, I'm doing this sustainable, not because I'm meeting the goals, I'm meeting the vision, because I'm saving this number, I'll save that number, I'm creating a job, I'm taking this tender. Speak their language, and believe me, you will not be a support function, you will be a core function with them.
Any book would you like to refer to the audience, Doctor, to learn more about circular economy?
As I said, I can refer to the program in Edinburgh University that I mentioned, because it is one of the, as I said, this is one of the top universities in the world, online, affordable. And I mean, there's many courses also on Coursera, edX and circular economy that I can, refer to. I mean, if you're at circular economy, but yeah, if you don't want to go to the master program, I think you can take free courses now. There's a lot of courses in circular economy in edX and Coursera.
One more question came up while meanwhile. So is 3D printed structures are similar to the precast models that we are using as a recycled material in 3D printed structures?
Yes or no, because in 3D printing, we have something called AM, additive manufacturing. So if I'm doing 3D printing for steel and if I do for plastic, it's totally different story. But for concrete, if you use, then yeah, you can do it. All of them, they consider a modular construction for some, yeah, but for steel and plastic, then the 3D printing, it has on. So precast or modular construction, sometimes they have common things. But it's very hard. I'll do 3D printing for a bridge. It's hard now. I know people, they do it, but I can't do for high-rise building. But as I said, there is yes and no. But for 3D printing, is all about additive manufacturing. AM.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. Mr. Haridas is asking that what is the current status of effectiveness of implementation of this model in UAE industry, in UAE country as an industry over here?
There is an awareness, as I said, there is an awareness. So we don't have any metric and KPI requirement to see. We don't, but this is what is coming. So it's better for us to be prepared, because otherwise it will be something new for you. Then you need to go to a consultancy, and you are losing time. So if you are prepared, then that's why they said, okay, next day they said, okay, now circular economy, it will be a KPI from the Dubai municipality or something. So you are ready. But definitely they are going that way. They spend a lot of money. We have a whole committees about it, because food security is under circular economy, alternative energy under circular economy. So definitely it is coming, and it is better to be prepared.
And what connected one is that STDEMA requirements have any link with circular economy?
Not really. So we have before Istidama, we have before Sa'fat, LEED. We don't have circular economy KPI before in that. Not now. But people now, they start emerging these things. But before, we don't have to become Istidama. Even like to become PMP, I don't remember there was anything about circular economy there.
No, nothing like that before.
No. So, but it will come. I can see it is coming. I'll give you an example. In 2008, before become a chartered engineer, sustainability was not one of the attributes. Now, sustainability is one of the main attributes. So in 2006 or 2005, to become a chartered engineer, you don't have this section about sustainability. Now, it is a main by the Engineering Council in UK. You need to have the exam sustainability. And I can see something similar will happen with circular economy if you use it in the right manner.
One question from my side, Doctor, over there is that I don't know how much is connected to one or relevant, but for the people who are exactly not in the construction field, okay, or not from this particular sector, and they want to contribute to ESG, environment, sustainable governance models in their field even, and then basically as a parallel, this line is getting developed and getting much and more relevant into every sector to do it. So how and which kind of education, awareness, plus I think the credentials, which can help these people to really leverage the knowledge beside the free courses. And one which you mentioned about the university course, I don't know, is it relevant to all people or is it only to?
But by the way, I refer for something from PMI. Guys, you have in your website, micro-credential, it's called Innovation and Construction. Now there is a whole certificate, PMP and Construction. So guys, now if you want to come PMP only in construction, there is PMI, they initiate a whole certificate and contain from 5 or 4 micro-credentials. So if you don't want to do all of them, there is one micro-credential called Innovation, Technology and Construction by PMI, online, 75 question, and you get the micro-credential, and it covers circular economy and different topics. Very easy online, and you are familiar with PMI, and all of you are members there. Easy.
And it is open to people who are not in construction as well.
Yeah. Okay. You don't need to be, I mean, at the end, you are a project manager. You don't need to understand the chemistry behind it. I mean, nobody will ask about how, as I said, project, one of the definitions is a temporary and specific effort with specific resources with targeted time. So you need to how to manage it, but you don't need to understand the science behind it.
Perfect, dear. Perfect. That's a lovely. That I think that was a cherry on the cake for all of us to understand that we all have the options to go and contribute and learn and to be the part of this whole journey of circular economy and on our way.
Yeah,
Thank you
and
so
I
much.
said you can see as a credential, start with the micro credential of innovation construction with PMI, so you can be you can add this credibility to your CV or in your career.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. Thank you, Doctor. I think it was very informative, relevant, and quite a bit of knowledgeable information for all of us.
Thank you.
Seminar today. I would like to give a big thank to all of you guys who have joined us today over this particular webinar. And of course, before we're going to end this session now, I would definitely like to remind all of you to be aware about that. We have another webinar coming up in this month only, in February 23rd. And that would also will give us quite a good things in terms of new topic with our esteemed speaker. A topic would be citizen development, low code and no code industry. And that would be a really great one to again learn in this particular matter. So please go to the PMI UAE website to register yourself for that. And of course, Rosanna also has spoken about the face-to-face event, which is going to happen next month. So another interesting event for all of us to go and contribute. And I encourage every one of you to go and register yourself for that as well. So I would like to give a big shout to our friends at marketing team who have been definitely doing all great hard work and responsible for posting all this media information in our social media and our pages in the website. Also, we are going to close this webinar, but definitely I would like to thank to all of you. And I will give you a big thank you to the people who are the PMI UAE chapter members as volunteers, who always has been giving us a lot of fruits behind the scenes and then making these webinars successful, and includes our colleagues from membership, outreach team, volunteering team, and finance and governance as well. So thank you so much. And until our next webinar together with my colleague behind the camera who has contributed here in this webinar, Ulimed, Bhavin, Joseph, and our event director, Rosanna. This is Anchal taking you a sign off from here today, and have a pleasantly lovely evening ahead here, guys. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Thank you, Doctor.
Okay, thank you. Thanks again. And it was a privilege. Shukran.
Shukran. God bless. Bye-bye.